Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. So today we're going to have a look at the intro for Sweet Home Alabama. Let's get into it. So this is the first part of it. I've had to split it into two, followed by the next part. And we're going to cover all this today in little chunks, but feel free to take some screenshots. That's part one, and that's part two. So we all know what this is supposed to sound like. Etc. So let's get straight into it. So this is the first part. It's all based around a D chord. Now, I say a D chord, but I'm leaving the middle finger off because we're going to start doing some sort of like bass notes with that. So play a D chord and let your index finger, sorry, not your index finger, your middle finger off the second fret of the high E string. And that gives you what we call a D sus2 chord. And this whole bar is based around that. So what we're going to do, we're going to palm mute the D string twice. Open D string. Can you hear the sort of like muted that my amp's giving off? With two downstrokes, followed by picking the B string and the G string with upstrokes. And can you hear that those two aren't palm muted? And then on the way up here to the next fretted note, we've got an open D string as well. Can you hear? I just caught that D string on the way past. So starting from the beginning, I've got down, down, up, up, up. Then palm muting again, while retaining this shape. I'm going to tap my middle finger and I'm going to press the third fret, which is the C note. I'm going to press the third fret on the A string. I'm going to pick it with a downstroke and then I'm going to pull off. Can you see how I'm pulling off there? And then I'm going to catch it again. 3, 0, 3. But see how I'm only picking twice? Now, this is where there's a little, I talked about this in Life in the Fast Lane, there's some riffs that you come across that have like a little bit of bounce to them, and this is definitely one of them when it does the little bass notes. And from there, I always forget to do this, you leave the ring finger on the third fret of the B string, but take your index finger off the second fret of the G to give you... So all with upstrokes, 3, 0, 0. Now that very last 0 over here is going to feel a little bit weird because it ties into the next lick, but just stick with it for me. The whole thing. So that's the first bit, that's the most recognisable part. If you need to take a screenshot, please do. If not, we're moving on to second part. So, can you see where I've accidentally left the cursor? Oh no, I've not. That's the cursor on OBS. My apologies. So, I've left this 0 in from the previous bar that I talked about because it kind of leads into the next part. So, we've come from here. Once we get, I'm thinking D in this first bar, and then when we get to the second bar, I'm thinking more G. Now, what I'll do is at this point, as I come into the second bar, all I'm fretting is that third fret on the low E string, and I'm doing the same as we did before. So I'm picking the note, pull off, and then picking it again. And then down, 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 and then an upstroke for that very first G. And then I'm going to pick that again, and we've got the... So let me break that down for you. So we've got open A. Now, I tend to use one finger for all of these twos. Now, it can be my second finger or it can be my first. I'm going to use my second today because it just feels more comfy there. So we're going to pick the open A string and hammer on to fret 2. Then I'm going to move down and I'm going to pick the open D, hammer onto the 2 and then pull off again. Now notice how they're all semiquavers. Underneath the music, they're all semiquavers at the bottom, so it is played quite quickly, and that's why the hammer-ons and pull-offs are in there to help you. And then we're going to go back to the second fret on the A. And then we're going to do a string skip, pick the 2nd fret of the G, and then pull off to the 0. And I'm picking down, up, down, up. So I'm doing alternate picking on all the first picked notes. So you've got pause if you need to, or if you want to work on just gluing those 2 bars together, you can pause here, and the top 2 bars are what we've covered so far. Okay, pause if you need to. If not, we're going to dissect bars 3 and 4 now. So bar 3 is exactly the same as bar 1. So you've got all based around a D shape. So you've got the 2 clucks on the open D string, up on the 3rd and 2nd frets of the B and the G, open D. Exactly the same, there's nothing different. Moving into the 4th bar, we're gonna start the same way that we did previously on that low E string, and even including that open G string. And then we get to this. It's this cool little like sort of major country lick. There's a bit of arguing on Reddit backwards and forwards as to what keys this is actually in for soloing. It's a good study for music theory if you're into that sort of stuff. So we're in bar 4 now. I've done the 3-0-3, and I've picked the first of the open Gs. Think of that as its own little lick, okay? And then we're going to go from the 2nd open G string. So we've got G, 2nd fret with the index finger, and I'm going to pull off. And after I've pulled off, I'm going to pick that note again. That 2nd open string in between the 2 fretted notes is the one that everybody misses. Then with my ring finger, I'm going to pick the 4th fret and pull off. Now rather than picking that G string again, he actually picks the D string in place of doing that G a 2nd time. It just adds a little bit of percussion, and let the notes ring on top of each other, it will make it sound better. And then I'm just going to bump the ring finger up, and I'm going to, rather than bending up, I'm bending down like that. We're trying to get those sort of, get those sort of country, sort of like lap steely kind of bends over sustained notes kind of thing. That's what we're going for. So bars 3 and 4 sound like this. Bit scruffy, but you get the idea. So this would be a really good point for me to go back to this slide. Everything we've covered so far is in those 4 bars. Okay, glue it all together. Pause if you need to. So that's the first half. Moving on to the second half, can you see how the first bar and the second bar are exactly the same as the first and the second bar of what we've done? And then the third bar is the same as it is in part 1. It's only the 4th bar that changes. So, moving on. We've got just the same. Just to confirm, this is bar 5 and bar 6 for those of you at the back. Yeah? Bar 5. It's exactly the same as bars 1 and 2. He just plays it again. Now the variation comes here. Bar 7 is exactly the same as what we've done previously. It's bar 8 where there's a little lick at the end. Rather than doing that part, we've changed the ending. And if you've done your job right, you should play that little lick at the end here. And then he should start singing the big wheels keep on turning. It should start the verse of the song. Which, if you want to carry on through that, a really good exercise is just to play 2 beats of D, 2 beats of C, 4 beats of G over the verses, and then play the riff when the chorus comes back in. It's a really good exercise for putting chords and melody together. So anyway, back on task. Bar 7, nothing new here. Bar 8, we're continuing like we did with that 3-0-3 and the open G, just the same as what we've done before. Now you've got this cool little, like, it's almost like a banjo lick, but it's not. Everyone thinks of banjo licks as, but it's not. It's kind of got this cool little sort of like cascading thing about it. So I'm going to pick the open A string and then hammer onto fret 2. Then we're going to play the open D and then the open G. And can you hear how I'm letting them all ring over each other? Now, I don't know if you've noticed some of the more eagle-eyed ones of yet, you'll notice that I'm hybrid picking that. I find if I'm sort of in the zone, I might do hybrid picking there, which is I'm picking the A string with the plectrum, and then I'm using the middle finger for the D and the ring finger for the G. I might do a lesson on hybrid picking if you want to. If that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments. So we've got pause if you need to. If not, let's recap all 8 bars. So this is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3 and bar 4. And then moving on from that, bar 5, 6, 7 and 8, which is very similar, it's just the ending that's different. Pause if you need to work on that. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little bit more technical. I try and sort of cut all the chaff out of the tabs that we work on, but there's so much nuance in this song and there's so many people that don't play it right. I needed to put that in that way. So hopefully I did it at a pace that you found acceptable, and please do let me know how you're getting on with these lessons. If you've got any recommendations for riffs, hit them down there as well. If not, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.